Good afternoon and welcome to News Track, coming to you live from our Rayfield studio. My name is Modesty Nianglong. The federal government has called for stronger collaboration in the fight against terrorism and other forms of violent extremism threatening national peace and security. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris made the call at a press briefing to address current security concerns in the country. The minister noted that defeating terrorism requires a united national response that transcends political, ethnic, religious, and regional differences. He said the federal government is rallying citizens, the media, and security agencies in a united front against terrorism because an attack against one Nigeria is an attack against all Nigerians. The minister assured Nigerians that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains fully committed to securing the safe return of all abducted school children and teachers recently taken captive in separate attacks in Oyo and Borno states. Idris disclosed that security agencies working under the direct instruction of the president have intensified intelligence gathering, surveillance operations, and coordinated rescue efforts aimed at securing the release of the victims and bringing the perpetrators to justice. Highlighting recent security gains recorded across the country, the minister noted that troops under Operation Hadinkai in the northeast have continued to neutralize terrorists, rescue civilians, and destroy terrorist infrastructure. He added that over 50 terrorists were recently eliminated in follow-up operations in Borno State, while dozens of high-value targets have been taken out through coordinated military actions. Plateau State government has expressed its determination to align with the federal government's Renewed Hope climate change initiative aimed at promoting sustainable environmental practices and climate resilience. Governor Caleb Mutfwang gave the indication when the senior special assistant to the president on climate change, finance, and stakeholder engagement, Ibrahim Shileng, paid him a courtesy visit at the government's house, Rayfield, Jos. Our correspondent reports.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang said Plateau State is committed to supporting the initiatives that will address the challenges of climate change and promote environmental sustainability. The governor, represented by the State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, noted that the state possesses enormous potential in agriculture, forestry, and renewable energy which can be harnessed to drive economic growth while protecting the environment, and assured of government collaboration with key stakeholders to ensure the success of the program.
You are coming to Plateau State to even initiate or flag off this program is in order, is in line, and we are telling him that we are fully behind him, we are going to support him.
Earlier, the senior special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on climate change, finance, and stakeholders engagement, Ibrahim Shileng, said his visit was aimed at strengthening collaboration between the federal government and Plateau State on climate action and sustainable development. He explained that the Renewable Hope Climate Change Initiative seeks to mobilize resources, build partnership, and support state governments in addressing climate-related challenges while creating economic opportunities for citizens.
Now, the idea is we need to look holistically at how, from the federal level, we are creating policies that's going to help the country tackle some of its climate issues. But notwithstanding, aside from coming up with these policies, we need implementation at the subnational level.
Speaking on the role of citizens, Ibrahim Shileng emphasized that addressing climate change requires collective action and urged individuals to adopt environmentally friendly practices such as tree planting, proper waste disposal, avoiding indiscriminate bush burning, conserving energy, and supporting the initiatives that promote a cleaner and healthier environment. The delegation, which includes the special advisor to the president on climate change matters, Yusuf Kilani, and other presidential advisor on climate change initiative, is also expected to hold a town hall meeting with key stakeholders in Jos to deepen awareness and enhance public understanding of the Renewed Hope Climate Change Initiative. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has pledged government's continued commitment to investing in environmental restoration and climate resilience as part of efforts to protect natural resources and promote sustainable development. Mutfwang gave the assurance during the Renewed Hope Climate Change Awareness Tour, Town Hall and World Environmental Day celebration which took place at the Crispan Event Center, Jos. Our correspondent has details.
The Renewed Hope Climate Change Awareness Town Hall is part of the Renewed Hope Climate Change Awareness Tour, with Plateau State as the pilot state. Is a national initiative launched by President Bola Tinubu through the Federal Ministry of Environment to tackle the challenges posed by climate change in Nigeria. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang expressed government's commitment to climate action through initiatives such as afforestation, erosion control, sustainable agriculture, ecosystem restoration, and the AgriSol project. Represented by the state's Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, the governor underscored the importance of collaboration among governments, development partners, communities, traditional institutions, youth, and the private sector.
As we commemorate World Environment Day, let us renew our commitment to responsible environmental practices. Let us plant more trees, protect our watersheds, preserve our forests, adopt sustainable lifestyles, and support policies that promote climate resilience.
State Commissioner of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Peter Gom, said climate change is a reality and highlighted some measures including erosion control, tree planting, and building of resilience against the effects of the climate change. Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on climate change matters, Yusuf Kelani, explained that the initiative is designed to align the federal government's climate change goals with grassroots participation by educating communities on the causes and consequences of climate change and the role individuals can play in addressing the challenges. He noted that Plateau State will be used as a model to create awareness to other states because of its advantage in natural environment, tourism potentials, and hospitality of the people.
The enormous natural resources, the quality people, the hospitality. And I was telling my colleagues, all the way young, we used to take the train from Lagos to Jos. Jos is the Europe that we have in Nigeria.
Stakeholders, including the representatives of the Bongom Jos, the Ata Ateng of Ghana Wuri Yakubu Chaimang, lend their voice in support of the initiative. Highlight of the event was presentation of climate change policy and action plan and signing memorandum with the state government. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
Chairman, Plateau State Universal Basic Education Board, Sunday Amuna, says the board remains committed to policies and programs which make schools safe, inclusive, and innovative. Amuna stated this at the official flagging off of the 2026 Global Butterfly Week held at Obasanjo Model Primary School, Holshe, Jos South Local Government Area. Correspondent Simon Swatka has the details as presented in our studio.
Butterfly Week is marked globally to celebrate butterflies as symbols of transformation and critical agents of pollination and biodiversity. The theme for 2026 is Nurturing Transformation. While flagging off the Global Butterfly Week, Sunday Amuna pointed out that the Global Butterfly Week reminds teachers that transformation is possible and it requires patience, protection, and the right environment. He challenged teachers to see themselves as gardeners of transformation, nurturing pupils to reach their full potential.
We are keen into this to ensure that our land becomes green, just like the Plateau State Governor, Caleb Mutfwang, has declared that the land is green. And we must ensure that Plateau State is green. Green in our schools, green in our homes, green all over the walkways. We want to make Plateau green.
Giving an overview of the Butterfly Week, Professor Yola Malan of Yakubu Gowon University, Abuja, said through partnership with SUBEB and UBEC, Plateau State can create greener schools, healthier communities, and a brighter future for generations to come.
This partnership with SUBEB today, greening communities and the whole butterfly space, is very important. Trees and plants provide us with clean air, shade, food, habitats for wildlife. They help reduce the effect of climate change. While we're having a lot of upsurge in challenges with climate change, a lot has to do with what we're doing with the environment.
The Director of Primary Education, Plateau State Universal Basic Education Board, Plangnan Wiep, appreciated partners for their contribution to the success of Global Butterfly Week 2026.
To make climate change a day that butterfly shall be remembered. Butterfly shall also be one of the insects that has long were the days that children have fun with butterflies.
To mark the 2026 Global Butterfly Week, the Plateau State Chairman of the Universal Basic Education Board, alongside the State Coordinator of UBEC and selected school children, embarked on a brief awareness walk.
The Plateau State government has invested over 1 billion naira in anti-malaria drugs for children below ages of 5 years. Director General, Plateau State Drugs and Medical Commodities Management Agency, Kim Bott, disclosed this while flagging up the distribution of the drugs in Jos. Our correspondent tells us more.
The over 5 million doses of anti-malaria drugs, Pack 1 and 2, being distributed to the 17 local government areas by the Drugs and Medical Commodities Management Agency for the seasonal malaria chemo prevention were transported by the agency's delivery and logistics van. Flagging off the distribution, Director General, Plateau State Drugs and Medical Commodities Management Agency, Kim Bott, lauded Governor Caleb Mutfong for ensuring the availability of the malaria drugs, stressing it is free.
The agency is a dream country for us because it's the first of its kind we are doing, and it just shows our level of readiness and preparedness as a state, because His Excellency is ready in delivering this, is also ready in ensuring that this is done.
Kim explained that series of interventions by the time his non-administration has drastically reduced the prevalence of malaria in the state.
It's because of these cohesive efforts that the prevalence of malaria among children under 5, as seen in the seasonal malaria chemo prevention, in Plateau has dropped from 18.2 to 2.2. So Plateau is now second to Lagos in the whole of this country, in topping the chart in terms of performance and drop in the prevalence rate of malaria. And because of the cohesive work on the case management team, to the program implementation team, and indeed to the logistics team.
He assured citizens that the administration would sustain effort at providing accessible, affordable and quality health care in the state. The distribution of the anti-malaria drugs for the seasonal malaria chemo prevention began with local government areas in the southern senatorial zone. I am Gakop Timothy.
The Plateau State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, in partnership with UNICEF Bauchi Field Office, has distributed 100 Samsung Galaxy tablets to 10 selected schools across the state. The initiative is aimed at accelerating the adoption of the Nigerian Learning Passport NLP platform, a digital tool designed to transform teaching and learning. Details of the report is courtesy the information unit of the board. The report.
Chairman, Plateau State Universal Basic Education Board, Sunday Amuna, said the partnership underscored the inevitability of embracing digitization if society intends to remain globally competitive. Amuna recalled that Plateau State was once overlooked in UNICEF intervention, saved for the So Washed program. He highlighted the NLP platform launched by Governor Caleb Mutfong in August 2025 as a key intervention supported by MTN's donations of router to schools. The chairman emphasized that teachers must utilize the tablets strictly for educational purpose, warning against personal use. UNICEF Education Officer Raphael Oyedipe expressed delight with the distributions, stressing that education is no longer confined to classrooms or textbooks. He noted that the NLP platform provides both online and offline access, ensuring inclusivity for learners in rural and urban area alike. The 10 schools benefiting from the intervention include JGSS Township, LEA Kwanga, RCM, Zarmaganda, PSP, Haipang, Demonstration Primary School, Gindri, JGSS, Bet, JGSS, Kabir, LEA, Walang, TRCM, Shandam, and SPS, Zomu.
The Plateau State Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries says it is committed to transforming the state dairy sector through policies and programs that empower women and youth towards improving milk production and strengthening the dairy value chain. Commissioner in charge of the ministry, Sunday Akpa, stated this during a road walk as part of activities to mark this year's World Milk Day. Our correspondent tells us more.
World Milk Day is observed globally on 1st June under the coordination of the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. Plateau State Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries, in collaboration with Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES, have also joined the global community to commemorate the day with a road walk carrying banner that promotes the nutritional and economic importance of milk. In a press briefing, the Commissioner, Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries, Sunday Akpa, said this year's Milk Day, with the theme Celebrating Women Farmers, highlights the critical role women play in dairy production, food security and rural economic development.
We celebrate today. Let us renew our collective commitment to building a more inclusive, productive and sustainable dairy sector. Let us invest in women, support innovation, promote access to resources, and create opportunities that will enable women dairy farmers to reach their full potential.
State Project Coordinator LPRES, Wika Paul, called for stronger collaboration among government, private sectors and development partners to unlock the vast potential of the state's dairy industry and strengthening national food security.
A very, very key component of the livestock industry. Each and every one of us should take a cup of milk every day.
Highlight of the event was the handing over of equipped modern laboratory to the Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries by the State Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES. In Jos, Bridget Ruchak.
The General Manager of Plateau Radio Television Corporation, PRTVC, Rita Kachilumpam, has described the death of Ms. Compayos Yilbial as a great loss to his family and the community, considering his wise counsel and contributions during his lifetime. The General Manager stated this on sympathy visit with other management staff of the corporation to the family of the deceased at his residence at State Locus, Rantia, Jos South Local Government Area. Our correspondent has details.
While condoling the family, General Manager PRTVC Rita Kachilumpam expressed deep sadness over this loss, describing it as a painful moment for the family and loved ones of the deceased. She explained that the delegation was at the family home to identify with them in their grief, noting that Pastor Abraham Yiljab, a former General Manager of PRTVC and a relative of the deceased, as well as the daughter of the deceased, Eunice Dimka, and son-in-law Mudimka Dimka, as staff members of the corporation.
God in His infinite mercy will comfort you all. He is the comforter of the bereaved, and we pray that He comforts you all. We extend our deepest condolences to the entire family, and we pray that you should prepare for the funeral. We pray that God guides you through all the process.
Responding on behalf of the family, Cyril Senyil thanked the PRTV management for standing with them during their time of mourning. He said the death of their father had created a vacuum that will be difficult to fill, describing the late Miss Compayos Yilbial as the eldest member of the family who contributed immensely to its unity and progress. Also speaking, the wife of the deceased, Veronica Yilbel, expressed gratitude to the management of PRTVC, saying their visit had further strengthened and encouraged the family. The visit featured prayers for God's comfort and strength upon the bereaved family, led by the Director of News and Current Affairs, Esther Nasara. The late Miss Compius Kum Yilbel died at the age of 88 in Jos, Nerotruang.
And on the foreign scene, Russian authorities say Ukraine has launched an unprecedented attack on and around St. Petersburg as the city hosts the final day of Russia's annual economic forum. More than 140 drones were shot down over the surrounding Leningrad region. Governor Alexandry Duzerko said, while the city governor Alexander Biklov urged residents to remain indoors for the first time since the war began. Ukraine's president said his forces hit Russia's arsenal and a naval base in what he called a just response to Russian attacks. It comes a day after there was no point in meeting Vladimir Zelensky, who had called for direct talks on ending the war. Zelensky posted on social media on Saturday to say it was time to end this war, but accused Russian leader of wanting to keep fighting. He said his country's drones had covered a distance of 1,000 kilometers to the St. Petersburg region, targeting the enemy's naval arsenals and a base in Kronstadt, referring to the main outpost of the Russian Navy's Baltic Fleet. And that's the much we can take on this package. Stay tuned for global news at 6:30 p.m. and news updates at 10 p.m. Good afternoon.